So today we are going to be installing the Carli high mount stabilizer for my 2019 Ram Power Wagon. Now the reason I got this kit is because I have the 37-inch 12.5 17 Toyo open country tires, which have a tendency to pull to the right, and even though my alignment is supposed to be where it's at, it still pulls to the right. So Carli did some modifications to an existing stabilizer they had for previous 4th gen and 3rd gen trucks and made it available now for 5th gen. This whole kit weighs in at about 10.8 pounds, but it's going to be slightly different in my case. The plates are about 3/8 of an inch thick, and so they provide the spacer to go on the driver's side to make up for the the sway bars, 3/8 of an inch displacement. But considering that I had just installed the DOR steering brace a couple weeks back, I won't be needing this plate, so put that on the side. I also won't be needing a couple of these guys for that. Without this hardware, it brings everything down to about 9.4 pounds, so it's actually a pretty light solution for this. The clamp that comes with the kit is actually really nice. It's really lightweight, and it's going to be the first thing we install on this video. I think there's a call for a 3/8 inch Allen. I don't have that, so I'm going to use a 8mm to kind of get that guy seated. And installation says don't tighten it down, just kind of get it where you need it. There's also a 1/2 inch bolt and a couple of 3/8, some bearing spacers, some washers, a nut, the bracket itself, and the shock. Sockets I'm going to be using are going to be a 15mm, or this is a 13mm. That's actually going to be used for this this bolt right here. That'll come later towards the end. The 15mm is going to be what gets those guys in. The 19mm is going to be for that big boy. An assortment of ratcheting wrenches just to kind of assist me, especially with the bracket mount portion. I'm going to have to run that 1/2 inch bolt right through there, like that, and get a 19 on one side and on the other. Just like on the last video, I'm going to be using the assistance of these bungee cords to kind of hold the sway bar up and make sure it doesn't just kind of hang too much. I only need to take off one side for this. I don't have to do both sides, which is what the instructions recommend. And so even though I really don't technically need these, I may have to take both sides off just in case, if I can't slip that 3/8 inch bracket in place. Some blue thread lockers recommended for the bolt at the end of the shock here. This guy right here is going to get it, so we'll put that stuff on there. That's towards the end. All right, so the instructions call for this guy to be placed right up against the this bolt here. And so put that there like this. Using my 8mm to kind of help me thread these on because they got a little bit of length. Just taking a minute here. Now again, this has to be just enough to keep it there. I mean, there's you want to be able to move it like this. That's about it. Now when you're done, it's supposed to be facing downwards like this, but for now we're just going to keep it like so. Okay, just like before, 15mm to take these two guys off. might just be enough space to squeeze that bracket in there. But if not, I'm gonna have to loosen the other ones off over there on the other end. Okay, so I got the plate here. The mounting points are facing backwards like this when they go in. So we'll see where this guy will go in. Oh, there he is. Nice and easy, just like that. Putting the 15 mil bolts in there. These are 10.9 grade, heck yeah. So I got 17 mil on the other side because of the DOR steering brace that went on. And those are also 10.9. I don't have to worry about snapping these guys anytime soon. Okay, it's 15 mil again. I'm gonna go ahead and put some thread locker on it now, so I don't have to fuss with the doing it while it's mounted. There we go. A little bit on that side. Should do it. Let's put a little tiny sliver here. There we go. That'll do it. Take these guys off. There we go. Okay, the next part's going to require both half-inch spacers, half-inch bolt, half-inch nut, and 2 of the bearing spacers for this one. Okay, now the fun part starts. The stabilizer has to go in with the Schrader valve right here, facing backwards. Now, to get this bolt in, I'm going to have to feed the, already got the first washer on there. But I got to make sure I get the first bearing spacer in there. I'm gonna see if I can pull this off without losing my mind. Okay, so that's one. I'm gonna put that up backwards. Got the first one in there. I'm gonna feed it through. See if I get the second one in there without without dropping everything. Oh, let's see here. I'm gonna use my knee to assist me on the back end of the shock there. There we go. Okay, that makes it easier. Let's see if I can feed this guy in here. Come on. There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right. I grab the last washer. Put it right in there. Put that nut right back there. And start getting it tightened up. This guy here. Tighten this guy up. Okay. There we go. Sweet. Okay, now that this guy's just kind of chilling there, we need to get it mounted up to the clamp right there. Now, Carli's instructions say that if you have the resources to do this, what they're talking about is nitrogen, you can pull this cap and depress the valve stem to kind of release some of that pressure, so you can do this manually. But seeing as how I don't have any of that readily on hand, I'm going to go ahead and go with option B, which in their instructions they recommend to fire up the truck, turn it full lock left, and kind of manipulate this guy into here. I'm using a bungee to kind of hoist up the stabilizer, so when I turn it on and pull the steering to the left, I don't want any kind of unnecessary scraping or scratching. That's why I got that there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in the truck so that I can do that. Okay, so apparently taking the wheels full lock left didn't give me the clearance I needed, which is a bummer, because now I'm going to have to discharge the nitrogen. But that's all right. If I get my hands on some, they just recommend when you refill it, you know, make it hit 200 psi and you're good. For now, I'm just going to have to work with what I got. Okay, I'll take the valve cover off and see if I can release some pressure so I can manipulate this guy into the clamp. Well, that wasn't a whole lot now, was it? Okay. Just remember to put the last washer on there before you get everything all cinched up. There we go. There we go. So no matter what happens, when this guy goes down like this, you got to make sure it's flush up against this assembly here. Once you got that there, you can go ahead and start the process of tightening these Allen heads here. Overall, it wasn't a bad install. Actually pretty happy with the way it came out. Now I just got to go get some nitrogen and it should be squared away.